This manoeuvre is called a pivot turn. If it's performed right at the top with a very slashy action that you might see, it's sometimes called a slash turn. But a pivot turn is the more sort of general term for it. And I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it here. We're going to be imagining we're on a green wave. So that the wave here, the top of the wave shown by this line, the bottom of the wave shown by this line, and the wave progressing towards us and catching us up is all collapsing down here. You can practice this maneuver though. It's important to remember this in the white water just a few waves out. You don't have to be out in the big waves, and it doesn't have to be a green wave. So the pivot turn. Having got established on a wave, you're riding along, you're at the top of the wave deciding what you're going to do next. I'm already thinking I'm going to drop down, I'm going to bottom turn, come back up to the top of the wave. So top up to the top, and at that point that's where I'm going to do my pivot turn. I'm going to use all my energy that I create and throw it into the top of the wave up here. So I'm already looking to see where I'm going to do it. I'm imagining what the place where I'm going to do it. I'm going to draw a little disc on the floor here. That's where my pivot turn is going to be. When I drop down the wave, I'm looking for it. At this point here, at the bottom of the wave, I'm going very fast. I've got my boat on edge, and I'm looking to see where I'm going to pivot. The boat will be on a lot of edge at this point. For a pivot turn to work, the hull has to go flat onto the ocean. It works even easier when we're up at the top of the wave because it's an easy place to sit flat. So from here on in, what I'm going to do is as I rise up there, I'm going to be flattening my hull all the way into that position. So from here I start to have maximum edge, starting to lose the edge as I come up towards the top. I don't wait till I get here though to set myself up. About halfway up, so if I just draw that track, about halfway up, as well as flattening the hull, what I now do is I pre-rotate my body to the beach side. Feels a bit scary. So you're dropping your edge down and you're turning your body, such that as I come into position up here, and I just let myself drift up to the top of the wave, as I come up to the position up here, the hull is now flat on the wave, the paddle goes into the wave face, and all I do is I use this as a lever to very, very quickly change my boat direction. So instead of my boat being there, it sweeps around. So it's a very powerful dynamic maneuver there, and the boat comes around. I change direction completely, and now I can surf away and come back in this direction. So just like to re-emphasize a few bits about this pivot turn. So this concept of going top to top, about driving energy, creating energy and sort of redirecting it down here, coming up to the top to release. It all sounds like what we're trying to do is a super dynamic maneuver for the sake of it, and you kind of think, well, we could just turn down here. You can turn down there, and you can do a pivot turn down there. Won't look as flashy, but actually it's harder to do here as well. So whenever I'm sort of teaching people to do this, I'll always think, if they continue this idea of starting at the top, dropping down and coming back up to the top of the wave, even if this is a bit of broken water, a nice white broken wave, it's much easier to do up here. Why? A couple of reasons. One is that if you imagine the sideways sort of profile of a wave, you've got a curve. If you're sitting down in here, the front and back of the boat are catching in the curve. It's not very easy to do. If you remember, what we said was that at this point you're on a lot of edge. As you come up to the top here, you've got to have had the boat flattened. If you're on the top of a lump, in this case a lump of water, it's very, very easy to flatten the boat, and the whole of the rest of the boat is sticking out into air. There's not gripping anywhere, which means it's not catching anywhere. And that's really quite critical. The top of the wave is the easiest place to do it because you've got the least that can catch. One other little thing to think about is that it really does require quite a lot of commitment. Works easily with lots of commitment, is a complete failure without it. I'll tell you why. Because if I come up to the top here and I put lots of commitment in, put my paddle behind me and turn around very dramatically, my boat doesn't just sort of turn a little bit, it turns a lot from pointing in that direction to this direction. If we think about our most basic knowledge of takeoff, what we don't want to do is under pressure is get the boat halfway around and then drop down and stick the nose of our boat in. That's going to end up with us purling. So a huge amount of commitment and the boat will come all the way around to pointing back in the direction we came up from. Very, very easy that we get a nice gradual drop down the wave then.